Yeah, this is the first time I'm actually going. Yeah, exactly. Third time's a charm. This is the first time I'm legit going live here. Um, had a lot of trouble obviously before. I've thought about doing it before. I even thought about doing like a post fight show. You know what I mean? So like as soon as the fights wrap up, hop on and talk to you guys for about 20 to 30 minutes or something. But being over on the East Coast, man, it's tough. You know what I mean? It's a little bit of a grind. Especially when these fights are ending at like 1 or 2 a.m. Considering how many title fights and how many decisions we get on the main card. But I even had a great name for it. I called it the post fight sesh conference. You know what I mean? Because your boy's pretty much getting baked the entire time. So no, I wanted to do this for a while, and this is a good excuse. I mean, I wanted to get a 99th episode, crawled in because next week, I promise you guys, and I'm assuming most of you guys that are in the chat right now are subscribers of the channel. I got a very, very special treat for you guys next week. Please tune in on Monday when I drop that 100th episode. We got some legit. Yeah, I don't want to spill the beans. You know when you got something that you're just so excited about, but you just can't let it out of the bag yet. That's kind of how it is. I kind of want that like surprise factor once I actually drop the episode. So I'm very, very excited. I can't wait for that to drop. I'm almost done editing it. I'm almost done processing it. Got a couple more things to record, but after that, God damn, Monday's going to be a good day. I can't wait for you guys to see that shit. But we're here to talk about UFC Fight Island 6. I appreciate you guys hopping on. It looks like we got a solid amount of people in here already. 13 people. That's not too bad. I was actually expecting a little bit less, to be honest. All right, so let's get into it. We'll go over my bets first. Yeah, it would be some shit to have Izzy, but I got some. I got some shit. That's all I'm gonna say. Justin, what's going on, brother? All right, let me get into my bets so we can just go over that and just I can give you guys a little bit more of an explanation as to why I'm betting these spots and betting these guys. By all means, let me know what you guys are betting, what you guys are thinking about, and I'll be happy to address it, give you guys some thoughts. Obviously, I drop my podcast on Monday or Tuesday. Obviously, before like last couple of weeks, they've been coming out Friday, Thursday, Friday. Some UFC 253 I dropped on the Saturday. I was not proud of that, trust me, but I'm finally caught up to the schedule thanks to my man over there at Die Hard MMA, Clint. He forced me to be ready for the Monday podcast that we did this past week, and it allowed me to really get ahead of schedule. So I was really, really looking forward to that, and I'm glad that I'm ahead of schedule. So that really fucking helps. Appreciate it, Justin. Yeah, so let me go over some of these questions. Figuring out how all this whole StreamYard things works as well too. So this should be fun. I am not hedging the under at all. I am so sure of that fucking under. You know what I mean? Like when we have a line like -122, I don't usually go my full 5 units in terms of making it a lock of the night play like that. That's why I have like my 3.5 unit lock of the night play sometimes because the line is so good that I don't need to get super greedy and trying to just trying to get more return. But this spot, man, it's so fucking good. Dan, what's going on, brother? I appreciate you hopping on to say what's up. Check my man Half the Bet. If you guys are watching me, you guys already know Dan from a Half the Battle and Best Fight Pick. So I appreciate you, brother. Let me just show you a comment right there. There we go. Shit, this is not too shabby. But yeah, I am not hedging the under here at all. I truly think, and even though like some people will bring up the fact that Grisham isn't really an early finisher, everybody's pretty much an early finisher when you're fighting a guy like Antigulov. And let's not go out there and discredit the fact that Antigulov could go out there and get the submission or the early ground and pound stoppage himself too. That's absolutely a possibility. So I'm not just banking on Grisham going out there, surviving the takedowns, and then just letting Antigulov gas. I think that Antigulov absolutely has a shot to get this done too. I heard somebody tell me that there's a round one submission prop that's in like the +14 or +1500s for Antigulov. I think that has a solid amount of value because that is definitely his path to victory. But I'm going to be siding with Grisham. I think he gets it done in the first round. I think even the odds for him to win inside the first round are like +155. That's fucking insane. But yeah, yes, I am also bummed that we lost Suragan on this card because I was looking forward to cashing that +450 on my man Ante Delia. I'm still trying to figure out how to pronounce that guy's name, but I'm really looking forward to that. You know what I mean? Well, I was looking forward to that. I think that I tweeted out earlier too. I think that Ante is going to give or was going to give Gon way more of a test and and a fight than JDS is going to give. If it's truly the fight that they're going to put together with JDS and Gunn, I think we see Gunn cruising that. JDS is just Gunn. Obviously, JDS has proper boxing and solid technique and all that stuff, but Gunn is just the younger, better version. I'm not sure if he's younger actually. You guys might have to fact check me on that, but I do believe he's the more explosive, faster puncher. Will be able to move in and out. Sat Sri Akal, the surest hunter. What's going on, Fudu? Matthias will be Grum. I do believe that is correct, and I do think he gets it done inside the distance, which is why I took the under 2.5 shot on him. I really like him in this spot. I'm not super confident, but we should do that. You should let me do the post night SES conference. Dude, we'll see, man. We'll see. If I'll see if I can do these live podcasts a little bit more. See if we can get some traction on it. And if it's given a little bit of an audience, I wouldn't mind doing it a little bit more often. So I appreciate you guys hanging with me as you guys are. So I'll get back to that. To Gulov under 1.5. I love that spot. I truly do. Yeah, again, here's the statistic for you guys. 24 out of 27 of Antigolov's fights have gone under 1.5. So let's just throw that out there. My man Luke from Sparring with Reality Betting, appreciate you dropping in. Yeah, this is the first time, so it's nice to have my boys that I talk to on a regular basis hopping in and showing your boys some love. Yeah, Sean Mack, I absolutely agree. We need to see him in there with somebody that's going to test him in another realm, not just a striking realm. You know what I mean? A lot of people are giving Gone a lot of credit for going out there and beating a guy in Tyler Bozer who's looked really good recently too. And I agree, but stylistically, those guys are pretty much the same guys, except you got to give the physical capabilities or the physical capabilities edge to Gone. So obviously he's going to go out there and win a fight like that. If you want a point fight, if you're Tyler Bozer and your objective is point fighting, you're going to get outpointed by the faster and quicker striker in Gone. So good win for him. Don't get me wrong, but I want to see him tested in the grappling. Like, just like Conor McGregor's rise, we didn't really see him completely tested in the grappling realm. And yeah, he fought Chad Mendes, but you're fighting a Chad Mendes coming off the couch, having a couple tequilas and shit. He wasn't in his best shape going into the fight with Conor. So there's that. Appreciate it, Danny. Appreciate it. What do we got here? I also had that Team Korea parlay, but I'm thinking of adding Jillian to it and making a 3-play parlay. We'll start from you. For official plays, I'm not the biggest on making like 3-5 parlays. You know what I mean? As a degen play, that's not too bad of a degenerate play. You know what I mean? I do think Jillian gets it done, but again, there's the question mark. If she's not able to get it to the ground, but Tella has really good striking, that she'll be able to go out there and outstrike and finish. I truly believe both girls will get a finish here, whichever side it is. But I am a little bit more leaning on the side that we'll see Robertson successful with the takedowns and sink in a submission. But yeah, you're playing with fire when you go with 3-play parlays. And again, especially for live bets, when I'm tipping these plays and telling you guys these are the plays to go for, I'm trying to be as safe as possible with some of these spots. So going with 3 deep, it's a little bit too much for me to really be on board with that. But I'm fully supportive of you playing that on your own and knowing the risk that 3-play parlays sometimes are playing with fire. So good luck if that's what you go with. I kind of agree with you, Ned. I do think he has a capability of knocking out JDS. But what we have seen from Gane since his fight with Adam Dishka, that's a fight where he went all balls to the wall and tries to get the finish. And it looked like he slowly tried to gas himself out, or not tried to, but he just ended up gassing himself out. However, he was still able to get the finish in that second round again against Adam. But I think that's a fight where he truly found out the risks of trying to go out there and finish the guy who's not being able to get put out. I think obviously JDS is his durability has definitely taken a dip, so we should see Gane get the finish in that. I'd be interested to see what the end the distance on Gane would be there. What's going on, Owen Brooks? Appreciate it. Yes, Luke, sparring with reality betting. I did bet that over 1.5 as well too. They opened it over here on Pinnacle at plus 105, obviously with super low limits, and that's not something that I'm going to tip. But when it did open up on Bookmaker, it was minus 122, and that's where I took the shot as well. I thought there was a ton of value there. Ton of value there with Gane's point fighting style that he's going about. Ante is obviously very durable as well too, and given his grappling style and his clinch heavy style, you could pretty much suspected that fight was going to go over 7.5 minutes of either guy trying to implement a game plan. So I'm bummed that we missed the plus 433 or plus 430 on Ante, and then I'm even more bummed that we missed over 1.5. Even if it was gone that got it done, I thought it was going to be over 1.5. Ben Jordan, I do absolutely agree. This is a very tough card this week. There's a lot of juice. However, there's not a lot of dogs that I like either, which is why I ended up going with the under 2.5 for my dog of the night play with Gamrat and Kutilat. I'm not even going to try to say this guy's last name, but Gamrat versus Guram, the Georgian fighter. So, yeah, I think there's some solid value at plus 180 there. I only took a 1 unit shot. But yeah, when you guys get two primarily striker-based guys, I like the unders. I missed it last week with the under 2.5 in the Joaquin Buckley and Impa Kasanganai fight. I'm not missing my spot here, so I'm taking the plus 180 on Gamrat or Kutiladze. Damn, I butchered that. Gamrat and Guram to go under 2.5 at plus 180. What else we got here? You guys are keeping it live in the chat. I appreciate that, guy. Just keep the questions coming, and I'd be more than happy to do it. Of course, you're a DJ, Jay. Good luck on your bets this week, and I appreciate you joining the stream. Almeida Martinez under 2.5. I do like that spot too. Minus 134, minus 135, where it's currently at. You know, a little bit steeper of a price because we don't know what we're going to get from Almeida. You know what I mean? We don't know if he's going to go out there and grapple or what kind of styles he's added to his game in this significant amount of time off. I've heard that he's been working a lot on his submission, so I wouldn't be surprised to see him go out there and try to get this fight to the ground and pull off a submission victory. So that's something to look at. I believe the submission prop was like plus 1,100 for Almeida. I think that's worth a little bit of a sprinkle. And even before going live here, I did actually drop my best bets and props article on the Patreon, and that's one of the props that I did suggest to my patrons over there. So that's something worth a shot. Andrade had first nutritionist camp. Chukagian is talking retirement. I parlayed Andrade with the minus 2.5 round over in the zombie fight. Man, this fight is so tough for me. You know what I mean? There's so many ways I could see this Andrade and Chukagian fight playing out. Like all week, I've kind of been going back and forth about it. Like on Clint's show, I was talking about like it comes down to which judges are judging this fight. I mean, are they going to score Chukagian's point fighting style, or are they going to score Andrade continuously coming forward? But one angle that I did not touch on in that Clint fight or in that Clint podcast was the underrated grappling of Caitlin Chukagian. You know, we obviously saw it in the Antonina Shevchenko fight, but if this fight does hit the ground, we have seen Andrade submitted twice at 135 pounds. Once by, I believe it was Raquel Pennington. I'm trying to remember who Marion Renault was the other one. But, I wouldn't be entirely surprised if we saw Chukagian pull off a submission either. You know what I mean? Plus 1,200 for that sub prop is not that bad of a line. However, I think the most likely outcome here is this going to a split decision. Like if both girls are going to stick to their main game plan, which is always like, Andrade moving forward, doing those John Lineker type of style hooks and just trying to land bombs, or Chukagian just staying on the outside and trying to point fight. I find it hard for either side or to be truly confident on either side. All in all, though, I did end up going with Andrade. I had no official bets. I'm not even throwing them in Hail Mary parlays or anything like that just because I'm so split on it. The only money, only DGen money I have on this is a slight stab on Chukagian to win this via submission. But I do favor Andrade ever so slightly. Minus 150 is a little bit too much for me. I get why there's money coming in on Andrade. But yeah, it's such a tough fucking fight. Good luck on that parlay. What did you parlay it with? Over 2.5 rounds in the zombie fight. That's a solid spot. I like that over 2.5. I do think Ortega's durability will allow him to survive at least 12.5 minutes. A lot of people are just taking the Moicano and the Edgar fights into consideration when you're talking about zombie, and they think they're just going to go out there and dust Ortega in the first round. Ortega's he's never been dusted in the first round. Like it took an accumulation of shots for Holloway to put him out, and he didn't even put him out. It was like a stoppage in between rounds. That's another thing to take into consideration. And people also forget the Chan Sung Jung versus Yair Rodriguez fight. You know what I mean? He didn't go out there and put out Yair in that first round. So I think the durability of Ortega is going to hold up here, and we'll get a late finish for we'll get a late finish for Jung, so I don't mind a round four, round five prop on Chan Sung Jung either. Let's see what else we got in the chat. You guys are killing it, man. I'm honestly, I'm legitimately surprised and thankful that all y'all showed up. Actually, I didn't expect it to be popping like this. What do we got? Recommend a good betting site. My bookie is terrible with the live betting. I'm up here in Canada, so I mainly use Pinnacle. I use Betway, but my main two books are Pinnacle and Bookmaker. They have live betting. I know Bet365 is just killing it in terms of being able to bet like props and all that stuff with live betting. But I'm not sure how many people are actually. I don't think anybody in the States has availability to that. You guys have it really fucked down there. I thought on Clint's pick on Bukowski says that. I, that's a tough fight. Like, I don't think Cruz should be that big of a favorite. I do think he wins, but I think he's just too big of a favorite. So I kind of understand Clint taking the value on Bukowskis there. But again, Bukowskis doesn't really do too much for me in terms of like really standing out and sticking out and being like a guy that, I believe pulls it off as a dog. But that's Clint's style. He likes taking these dogs, these big dogs. So I can't blame him. Crute round one possibility. If he gets it down, his jiu-jitsu is really good. He could pull it off. But Bukowskis is a big dude. That's another thing that a lot of people are overlooking. Crute isn't like the biggest light heavyweight or anything like that, but Bukowskis is big. A lot of people have had some trouble getting that guy down. But if he does get it down, I'd be interested to see if Crute's submission game really allows him to do that. Jillian and Gamrot parlay. Oof. This Gurm guy doesn't look half bad. You know what I mean? Gamera, obviously a killer over there on the KSW scene, 17-0. But when these guys come over to the UFC, sometimes they just fall flat on their face. And Gurm is a tough first test. Obviously, he's making his UFC debut as well. Yeah, I don't know, man. I feel much more comfortable with like a Jillian and Korean Zombie parlay than I would a Gamrot play. That's why I'm going with the under 2.5. You know what I mean? I think we're going to get some chaos in that Gamrot and Gurm fight. So I took the plus 180 on the under 2.5. So good luck if that's the parlay that you shot on. Top 5 cappers. Ooh. Off the top of my head, obviously I'm gonna give myself number one. Maybe the results may not say compared to these other guys, but with the amount of work that I put in, I got to pat myself on the back for sure. Obviously, my man, best fight picks. My man Newsome MMA, he's over there at MMA Play 365. I know my man Z's been on a little bit of a slump recently, but he's a solid dude, knows what he's talking about. He should be back hopefully soon. What is that? 4 guys, including myself, one other guy. I'm just going off the top of my head. So if any of you guys are watching this, I apologize and didn't shout you out. Shit. Clint's kind of sharp too. You know what I mean? Not kind of. He is sharp. He picks a spot. He's good with identifying value. One thing I wish he would do, and I know he's a busy guy. One thing I wish he would do is legit track his picks. I know one of his listeners is actually doing it for him, so that's good. But once people like see his resume and can actually verify, and obviously you can go through his timeline, but that's just so much more tedious than actually like going to bet MMA tips and being like, all right, this is the guy's results. You know what I mean? But it's good that he has one of his listeners actually doing it. Obviously he didn't ask the guy to do it. The guy's just doing it himself. So shout out to that guy, whoever that is. But I think that's something that he should work on. So I hope that helps you out. Let's see what we got. Owen Brooks got heaps of money in bonus bets to play this with this weekend, building a 4-leg parlay with lots of chalk, just betting favorites outright. Let's put up the bestfightodds.com and I'll see what I can put together for you. So I like Chan Sung Jung. I like Julian Robertson, who's down to minus 192 on 5 times now. Interesting. I like Jun Young Park over John Phillips. And if you're able to, I would parlay the under 1.5 for the Antigula fight because I think that's a solid spot as well. And people may not like this. I know there's a lot of love for Claudio Silva right now, but I truly think that we see James Krause get it done. And I'm taking a shot on that round 3 prop as well. Let's see what else we got up here. Damn, you guys are killing it. I got Chuk making the supporting Frank close to the victory. That's absolutely possible, brother. That's absolutely possible. But Andrade always brings the heat. You know what I mean? She might be able to sneak in a shot. drop her or something like that. I wouldn't even be surprised to see Andrade take this fight to the ground and think that she'll have the advantage on the ground with her power alone. But again, she should not overlook the BJJ skills of Chukagian. I wouldn't be surprised to see Chukagian take it to the ground. And my man over here, somebody just brought it up. Martial arts fan. Andrade does have a 76% takedown defense. Maybe it's not even a takedown that Chukagian needs. Maybe it's like a clinch position, and while digging for underhooks, Andrade gives up her back or something, and we see Chukagian just hop on the back. That's absolutely a possibility. Let's see what we got. Two local guys. Ooh, yes. Shout out to Scott Shelvach. What's going on, my brother? I have not looked into it. I know it's Aaron Jeffrey fighting tonight. I can't remember the other person that's fighting, but yeah, Niagara Top Team is definitely on the rise. They've just been recently, like within the last couple of years, they've been making a name for themselves. I got no predictions for you, unfortunately. I haven't looked into that at all, but best of luck to our Ontario guys. What do you think of pulling some favorite with Khabib and Blades in the upcoming events? Um, I like Khabib. Uh, I like Blades obviously too. He's fighting Derek Lewis. I think Blades will be like the first guy that's going to be successful in actually keeping Derek Lewis down. You know what I mean? Derek Lewis just has that, like, whenever I want to get up, I'm going to get up. You know what I mean? He has that type of style, but I think Blades just has that top pressure where you'll be able to keep him down. So that's a solid spot. In terms of parlaying favorites with Khabib and Blades, again, I think Korean Zombie. I like. And Jillian Robertson and Junior Park. I think those are three solid spots for this card. Yeah, Andrade has decent takedown defense, that's for sure. TKZ by decision. Take the shot if you must. I could see it. You know what I mean? If Ortega's durability does completely hold up, it's a solid spot. But I think we'll see the pressure and the damage start to show on Ortega later in this fight. Uh, After having to shave my head, there would be no Hamleys in that fight. That's true. The last guy I can remember that had to shave his head due to weight cutting, and I don't think it's due to weight cutting. I know a lot of people are saying that, oh, you have to shave it to make weight. I don't believe that bullshit. I truly think that it's um, he wanted to do it for that goodwill. I believe he was like donating it to somebody. I can't remember who, but yeah, I think that's a solid spot. But I do remember Daniel Strauss having to cut his for Bellator. This was a while ago where he had to shave his braids and his dreadlocks to make weight. But yeah, like the fact that Ortega didn't take off his shorts, that leads me to believe that it wasn't truly that bad of a weight cut, and he truly was with a right mind and a positive mind to go out there and donate his hair. I think Gurm could do it, man. That's why I don't feel super confident in parlaying Gamrot here. That's why I went with the under one or under 2.5 as well. I think he has some bark as a dog here for sure. Gamrot has obviously been unbeatable and unstoppable over there at KSW, but we'll truly find out what we get from Guram. And one thing to note, a lot of people didn't really pick up on this, is Guram actually trains over there at All Stars as well. Has Hazel Madadi as his head coach pretty much, who's also working very closely with Hamzat. So I'm not saying that we're going to see Gurm go out there and Hamzat this guy or anything like that, but that's just something to keep in mind. Yeah, I don't mind that play. Again, I prefer the under 1.5 in that Maxime and Antagula fight. Um, yeah, Dasher, you are right in terms of, I believe the fight is closer than the line suggests, but I just don't have enough balls to actually go out there and bet our guy Gurum. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm not sure. I haven't even said that yet, but yeah, hit the like if you guys are enjoying this. What else we got? Yes. What is the fight? So I got the under 1.5 at -122. It's currently at -135 ish, -140, a couple spots. Fight doesn't go to decisions, -375. That makes absolute sense. There's no way that Antigulov is seeing a third round here. No fucking way. KZ, Kroot, Kraus, Robertson. Not bad, but again, I have some questions about Kroot still. I truly do. Best set for live betting. I haven't really gotten into it too much myself. When I did poke and prod here and there, it has been through Bookmaker. They've been pretty solid for me, but they just do straight up money line bets for that. Uh, Bang or Celsius to take a poop. Okay. uh, Gamrat should win. Yes, I do believe he should win, but I do like the under 2.5 better. Looking at the under for the Malarkey and Ferris fight, that again, that's another fight where I'm kind of stumped on. I haven't really thought Malarkey is too good of a fighter, but there's so many questions about Ziem still too. I mean, the kid looks like he could have potential, but he's just really not doing much with it. Like I said earlier on the podcast, he has a decent frame for a guy that should be able to like go out there and have a good performance from range with his Muay Thai, but he likes getting into the grappling range and getting into grappling exchanges. So that's something to keep in mind. I don't know about the under, man. I like Malarkey here. I think he wins by decision by just out muscling this kid. Khabib Blades may get knocked the fuck out. That's obviously that's absolutely a possibility, but I truly see that Blades getting this fight to the ground with not much issue and just keeping him there. With Phillips having a hard weight cut. Uh, I still give it to him for his durability. I mean, Park, I don't see him as like a one punch knockout type of guy, and Phillips has a decent beard on him. I think it's just going to be an accumulation of strikes if it's anything. And Phillips's gas tank hasn't completely failed him in past fights, so I think it's just going to be the Park mixing it up. I think him winning by decision, Jin Yoon Park winning by decision is probably the best spot. Hair is very light. Interesting. Martinez over Almeida. I do lean Martinez here, but again, I'm not sure what we're going to see out of Almeida, man. Being off for that long and the type of fighter that he was before the layoff, I'm super excited to see what he brings to the table here. If Almeida at the top of his game shows up, he should absolutely go out there and starch Martinez. But I'm not sure how people can be fully confident what type of Almeida we'll see, which is why I do lean Martinez a little bit. But that fight is violence. If you want to play that fight, I would say the under 2.5. I'd be surprised if JDS beats Gane. Let's just throw that out there. Just a couple of hours from Krupp's hometown in Victoria. Really look forward to seeing Malarkey as well after 12 months since nearly fight. Yeah, that fight against Brad Riddell was some shit, man. You must have been in attendance. If you're watching my show, you must have been in attendance at UFC 243 to see that crazy fucking fight. What is Ortega by sub? Let's see what that prop is at right now. Ortega wins by submission plus 434. That's not a decent head, or that's not a bad hedge. You know what I mean? Obviously, if Ortega pulls it off, I think that's the way to go. Ortega inside the distance plus 317. Yeah, I'd say Ortega by sub is probably the best spot there. I could see. I can understand why people are sleeping on Ortega. Obviously, the last images of him we have are not the greatest in that fight against Max Holloway, but again, it is Max fucking Holloway. However, I think TKZ is really coming into his own now since he came back from the military, and I think we'll see his ascension continue this weekend. Yeah, I did allude to that earlier, James. I do think Chukagian via sub is a solid prop, or a sneaky prop, I should say, as well. Oh, that sucks. I hate having to call these guys. Come on, it's 2020. It's 20 fucking 20, guys. Come on. Let's see. Dude, I thought the Cross on minus 180 was a good spot too. And then once I started to see the love out there for Silva, I'm like, all right, let me just fucking wait it out and maybe like weigh in day or something. I'll check out the odds. And lo and behold, I got his ass at minus 137. So I was happy to do that. If you are the Rob W90 that I think you are, shout out to you. I know you got a hefty amount on James Krause. Martinez is a solid dog. I do agree with you there, Roberto. Zombie by TKO is a lock. Not my lock of the night, though. Again, the Ortega does have solid durability. And the thing about the difference between a Holloway and Chan Sung Jung is Holloway gets stronger with every single round and his output grows every single round. I could see Zombie just like having a steady pace for that full 5 rounds and maybe getting that finish via 4th or 5th round, but I wouldn't be surprised to see a decision either. But I think the props at round 4 and 5 are worth a little bit of a spot or shot. For every fight goes to a draw. I think it really depends on like fights that have guys that have horrible gas tanks. You know, what I mean, Claudio Silva against James Krause. That's a perfect example where in round three we know Krause or we know Silva's going to be sucking wind. So even if Krause isn't able to get the finish in the third round, he should be able to dish out enough damage to get a 10-8. And he might drop the first two. You know what I mean, if Claudio gets in on those takedowns and gets some solid damage in there, and then Krause goes out there and like absolutely mollywops him in the third round. That's possible for a draw, but that's not my style. I don't want to bet every single fight via draw. Yes, sir. Not a bad bet. If you had to start with $1,000, how much would you make each unit? $10. Again, it's 1%. One unit equals 1%. So if it's $2,000, $20 is a unit. All right. What are my doubts about Crute? It's the size. You know what I mean? Bukowskis is a big dude. He has some solid kicks. He has some solid striking. And if Crute's not able to get this to the ground, it could get uncomfortable for him there. You know what I mean? Crute's, again, he's not the biggest light heavyweight. You know, Serkinov is like a dense heavyweight. He obviously had some issues there. Even Mihailo Shejuk, not the biggest light heavyweight, and Crute did have a little bit of issues keeping him down. Obviously, he eventually pulled off the submission, but if he's having trouble keeping Oleg Shejuk down, I think he's going to have a little bit of trouble keeping Bukowskis down. But again, I'm just not sold enough on Bukowskis either. So in terms of that fight, I would rather take the value on Bukowskis than take Crute there. Shout out Rob. I hope you're killing them Sims. I took a beating today, by the way. I don't know, man. I personally don't see it getting much better than the minus. I got at minus 137. We see it hovering around minus 140. I think that's going to be the peak for this Krause fight. I just look out there. I mean, there's some guys that drop their plays a little bit earlier, and then you see kind of the crowd slowly starting to sway that way. And you just got to wait it out. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of betting draws. I'd like to go back and see the statistics and in terms of how many draws we've seen in this last year alone. But in terms of like a long-term winning strategy, I don't think that's truly a long-term strategy. All right. I'm way above the time that I expected to be done this thing, but I truly appreciate you guys freaking hanging with me. And the fact that we even reached 40 live viewers, I'm very, very happy about that. I'm excited, and I will more than likely keep this going. You guys have been killing it. I hope to see you guys on a regular basis out here. I'll try to figure out a time that I can actually jump in and do this. Maybe make it a staple in fight week. Hit me up on Twitter at MMALOTN if you guys have suggestions in terms of when I should do these types of streams. When is the most fun time to do it? Maybe before the fights, maybe like an hour before the fights, we'll hop on and just talk about last minute things. That would be pretty cool if anybody's down for that. But yeah, I really enjoy this. I appreciate you guys watching it. And I'll just take this one last question from my man, James, me. Any good spots on next week card to parlay with this one? I'm thinking Casey Kenny and Miranda Maverick. The Kenny fight is an intriguing one. I think a lot of people are overlooking Wood there, but I still do like Kenny there. I'm not sure if he's parlayable at that price. I do really love Miranda Maverick. That's a really solid spot. Yeah, that girl's gonna be a problem in this fight. In the UFC. Friday around this time. All right. I see you, Dasher. Or an hour after weigh-ins. Okay. I'm usually working. You know what I mean? Your boy still has a 9 to 5, but I'm grinding. We're getting rid of that 9 to 5 as soon as I can so I can do this a little bit more full time for you guys. All right. Sorry, I'll just give you a couple other I like Magomed Ankalaev next week. I believe he's worth the chalk there. Alexander Volkov is going to be a very, very good spot. Miranda Maverick, obviously, like we touched on. And yeah, that's about it. Obviously, I'm going to have episode 100 dropping on Monday for you guys so you guys can see where I'm sitting for UFC 254. Once again, appreciate you guys checking out the stream as always, and hope to see more of you guys in the coming future. Thanks again for joining me.